what's up guys? So I just want to say thank you so much for all the love that I received in my previous video. I was so happy that you guys liked the video and so supportive of me continuing this nursing series. So with that being said, today I will be talking to you guys about how I passed my HESI exam and also how I got my school to take all my transcripts and all my classes that I had C's on. So if you guys are interested in learning what I did in order to pass the HESI, then keep on watching. My battery is actually dying. I don't know why I didn't charge my camera, so I'm hoping to make this video short and informative. When I went back to school, in 2015, I did retake a lot of classes that I had D's and C's from when I first graduated high school. I got better grades. Some of them I got B's and some of them I still got C's. When I started nursing school, my advisor told me that in order for them to take all my C classes, I had to score really high on the HESI. So the average people have to score in order to pass the HESI test is 74. I had to score 84 in order for them to take my classes. So I know I had a C in chemistry and I believe I had a C in anatomy or biology, and one of those two. So I had two C's that I really needed for them to accept. Before I get all over the place, let's focus on the HESI and then I'll break down every single subject. So I actually bought this book, the HESI Admission Assessment, and this is the only book I use to study the HESI. I really think that this has everything you need to know. This also is very good to refresh everything that you previously learned in anatomy and all those classes. It's very informative and it just tells you exactly what you need to know for the HESI, and I think that's very important. You don't want to overwhelm yourself with a lot of books, a lot of different things. I honestly feel that if you buy this book and study for at least a month before you take the HESI, you will do just fine. You actually get tested in 6 different subjects. So the subjects are mathematics, reading comprehension, vocabulary, grammar, biology, chemistry, anatomy, physiology, and physics. First of all, you need to ask your school what kind of test they're doing. Some of them do the TEAS exam and other schools do the HESI. My school did the HESI and I believe majority of schools do the HESI, but just make sure you know exactly what exam they're doing in order for you to get accepted. So as soon as I found out that I had to take the HESI, I ordered this book. And also my advisor told me that our school did not test you on physics. Thank God, because I hate physics. Anything with math or physics I do not like. She also told me not to worry much about math. Although I had to pass it with a 74, I didn't have to score really high like my other subjects. Like I mentioned before, in order for me to get all my credits accepted into the nursing program, I had to score an 84, not a 74. Generally it's a 74, but like I said, for me it was an 84, and especially on chemistry because I did have a C and I did not want to retake that. So how I study this, I actually studied this for about 2 weeks, and I was hoping to study this for longer, but my advisor really was pushing me to start into the May session instead of the August session. I thought I was gonna have the whole summer, and my advisor was like, no, you actually have time to start in May. And when I realized I had 2 weeks in order to take the HESI, I was freaking out, but I did it. So it's possible, but I will honestly recommend for you to give yourself at least a month so you feel very comfortable with the material. I started studying what I really needed most refreshing on. So for me was chemistry and biology. So biology, I actually enjoy biology and anatomy, but it's a hard subject. So what I did was just read the whole chapter and highlight every single thing. Well, not every single thing, but like really important things. I would take notes and I would just write my notes. And I thought that was really helpful because the more you write it, the more it gets into your head. So that's how I study for my science classes. I focus most of my studying on my science classes just because I knew I had to get really high scores and I wanted my C's to get accepted, so I study my butt off on those. I will also recommend for you to make note cards. I think note cards are so useful, especially if you're trying to memorize words or any medical terms. So my camera died and I had to charge it for a few minutes, so I don't know where I left off. So for my reading comprehension, it's kind of hard for you to study for that, but I think that it's important for you to read the chapter because it gives you a lot of tips on how to tackle each question. For me, I know I hate reading things that I'm not interested. Like when I see a big paragraph, I'm like, I hate it. So what I would really recommend is for you to read the question first and then to start reading the paragraph. For example, a question might be like, what is Timmy's mom's name? And then you start the paragraph and the first sentence is, Timmy's mom's name is Maria and she was born da 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 da. So if you read the question first, you will literally cut so much of the time spent reading the paragraphs. But yeah, there's not really much you can study for that. The main thing is for you to understand the question and what they're asking you, so you can easily find the answer in the paragraph. So that's that. For the vocabulary, what I did, so there's a bunch of medical terminology, and I did take a medical terminology class before entering the nursing program, so I knew a lot of the medical terminology. So what I did, I actually crossed every single word that I already knew and circle everything that I didn't know, and then I make note cards and just study the ones that I didn't know. It's really easy for me to memorize things, especially with note cards. I think it's the easiest and smartest way for you to memorize or understand terms, so I would really recommend that. When I went in to take the exam, the first exams that I took was chemistry and biology. Those were the two first that I took because I knew that I had to score really high, and then right after that I took the reading and comprehension. And the reason why I chose to take that third was because I didn't want to take reading last, just because I didn't want to be exhausted taking that exam, because honestly guys, by the end of the exam you're just so tired, you're over it. At the end I was like, at this point I don't care. First of all, I was really cold, I was really hungry, and I don't know, I was tired. The last subject that I decided to test on was math, because I knew that my school didn't, they expected you to pass, but they didn't expect a high score. So that was the last exam that I took. So I took the ones that I really needed with high scores, and then I took reading, and then the rest, and then math. I think you should spend the most time and dedicate the most of your time in the subject that you're not the greatest. Besides that, all I can say is really focus on what's important. Make sure you get all the information from your school. First of all, if you're taking the HESI, if you're taking the ATs, if you're taking any other exam, I think those are the only two. But just make sure you get informed on what subjects exactly they need you to pass and what subjects that are not as important, because you don't want to spend time on subjects that you don't really need. So just get all that information from your school and then just go from there. So honestly, I really think that you should just focus on one book, and if you are going to purchase a book, I would really recommend this one. It's not only easy to understand, but it's also not expensive. I believe this was like $24 or $19, I can't remember. This one is edition 4, by the way. You can find it in Amazon, or I don't know, I bought it on Amazon. Another thing that I like is that after every subject there is a test, so you can test yourself. Make sure you purchase this and now and start studying, even if you don't plan on taking the HESI or applying for the program until January or next year, whatever. I would just purchase this and start getting familiarized with the content, and it will honestly be so much easier when you actually have to study for it. So I hope you guys liked this video. I hope it was enough information, and I hope I answer a few questions, because I know the last video was kind of more a broad picture of how I got into nursing school, but I was not very specific into my credits, my transcripts, and all that. So I hope I answer a few questions. If you have any other questions, put them down in the description box and I will make a Q&A about all your questions and I will answer them, because I know a lot of the times I think, oh my god, you need to answer this, you need to answer that, and then I sit in front of the camera and I say nothing. So I'm sorry if I did not answer your question today, and if I left anything out, please comment and I will answer your question. I hope this video helped and it makes you a little more comfortable about taking the HESI, because yes, the HESI is hard, but if you prepare yourself for it, you're gonna be just fine. Also, before I leave, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Leave me a comment of whatever you want. I love reading comments. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I will see you guys in the next one. Mwah!